Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this really easy scrappy granny square purse. So I have one half of this purse done here just to show you guys. It is so easy, it's just one big granny square. I did make it double-sided so you could use either side of this pattern, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But yeah, we're just going to be basically making two granny squares and attaching them together with a strap to make a purse. So what I'm using for this is just some scrap cotton yarns that I have laying around. So any kind of yarn you feel like using, you can grab for this project. I just love cotton yarn for making little bags and stuff just because it feels really nice and sturdy. I'm pretty sure that most of these were Lily Sugar and Cream, but any 100% cotton yarn would work. If you want to use acrylic, that'll work too. Whatever yarn you have that's scrappy laying around that you like to use for this project, you totally can. I'm also going to be using a 4.5mm hook, some scissors, and a darning needle to finish this project. So to get started, we're going to pick whatever color we want for the center. I'm using this red here, and I'm going to make a slip knot. Oops. There we go. Once I have my slip knot, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to come to the first chain here and slip into the center of that. So I have my first chain down here, insert my hook and slip stitch through that. Now I'm going to chain 3, and then from that little loop that we've created, we're going to be working our crochet stitches into there. So I'm going to yarn over, go through the center of that loop, and place 2 double crochets. And this is creating the first side of our granny square. So this is the first side, has 3 stitches, or a cluster of 3 stitches. So now to make the corner, I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to yarn over, go back into the center with 3 more double crochets. So 1, oops, 2, and 3. So remember, each side of our first round is 3 stitches, 3 double crochets. So then I'm going to go 2 more for another corner, and 3 more double crochets back into the center. Oops, that one's a little loose, sorry. So 2 for the corner, 3 for the center. Or the side, sorry. Okay, then I'm going to do 2 more for my last side here. 2 more to get me to that last side. Yarn over, work into the center with 3 double crochets. So what's kind of nice about these is that they're really repetitive and easy to do. Okay, so now I have my 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 corners are done here. We have 3 corners of chain 2. So to finish this off, I'm going to chain 2 more and come to the top of my chain 3. And I'm going to finish this with a slip stitch. You can finish this in this color and then attach your yarn after. For this though, I've been attaching my next color onto this first row. So I'm just going to clip my yarn and take my next color here. And then before I finish that slip stitch, I'm going to use the next color to do that. So just pull it over the hook and through there, tighten it up. Now, to make this reversible, what I do is I chain 1 with my new color, pull everything tight, turn my work, and then into this chain 2 space of like the corner of the chain 2 space, I'm going to put my hook underneath, and I'm going to slip stitch on this side. And then I'm going to start working into that corner. So I'm going to do a cluster of 3. So all I've done is attach my yarn and turn it there. And then I'm going to yarn over and do 2 more double crochets. So everything's going to be worked in clusters of 3. So everything's going to be worked in clusters of 3, so each corner will have 2 clusters of 3 with a chain 2. Show you what I mean. So each corner is going to have 2 clusters of 3 and a chain 2 in between. So this is what we're working on now. So we have the first cluster here. Now we're going to skip this cluster from the previous row. So I'm just going to, without chaining anything, come to the corner over here and place 3 double crochets for another cluster. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to chain 2 to give me the corner turn, yarn over, come back into the same corner with another 3 double crochets. Oops, taking both yarns there. Okay, so that's how we make our corner from now on. It's going to be 2 clusters with a chain 2 in between. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on the next corner as well. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Like so. And then I'm just going to do this all the way until I get back down to where I started. So without chaining, I'm going to skip the next cluster of 3 from the first row. 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Okay, then we're going to skip the final cluster here, these 3 stitches from the last row, yarn over, find our first corner, and go in with 3 double crochet, two and 3, and since we're just finishing up from the first corner that we already started, we're going to chain 2 and connect into the top of that chain 3 where we started on the previous row, or the beginning of this row. So once again, I'm not going to finish with this color. I'm going to clip my yarn, grab my next color here, put it over the back of my hook, and pull it through so that I can use this color. Okay. And then to make it reversible, once again, all I'm doing is chaining 1, make sure everything's tightened, turn your work, go into that corner with a slip stitch, and then you can start working from here. So we're going to chain 3, and just like we did in the previous row, we're going to start our corner. So 2 more double crochets into the corner, 2, and then without chaining between these clusters, now I'm going to yarn over, find that space from the last row between the clusters, and place 3 double crochets into each of those spaces. There's 1, oops, 2 and 3, skip the next cluster, now we're in the corner space. So we're going to do our 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And now this is just going to continue to repeat. We're going to skip our cluster of 3, come in between those 2 clusters with 3 double crochet, skip the next cluster and we're in a corner space now. So into the chain 2 we're doing 3 double crochet, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Oops. Okay. So we're just going to continue working this around, and then when I get back here we're just going to join our next color. But really the pattern is so easy, it just continues to repeat itself and expand every time. So we're just going to do 3 double crochets in between all of these spaces of clusters, and then 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into each corner space, and then we can just expand it till it's big enough, and I will do that and show you guys what to do next. Okay, so I'm just finishing up this last row here. I have my last chain 2, and I'm going to come once again to the top of my initial chain 3, slip stitch into that space, chain 1, and then clip my yarn to fasten off. So that is the finished square. So now I'm just going to join these 2 squares and make the strap at the same time. So I'm going to place one on top of the other, and then I'm going to grab my hook and make a slip knot here. Then I'm going to start in any corner of the bag, put my hook through both pieces, and I'm going to yarn over and pull this through the slip stitch on my hook and make 1 single crochet into this corner space. Once I have this, I'm just going to place 1 single crochet into each of these double crochet stitches all the way along the end. And I'm going to go through both sides and place a single crochet into each stitch. So just make sure to catch the matching stitch on the opposite side. And we're going to single crochet all the way along this side of the bag. So this is just going to give us a nice clean edge. And I'm actually just going to keep this as the outside of the bag because I like the look of the single crochets. But I'm going to single crochet all the way along this side, the bottom, and then this side as well. So that's going to be like, this will be the bottom of the bag. So we're going to single crochet along these 3 edges, and then we're going to make the strap. So I'm going to just keep single crocheting through these double crochets, and then I will come back and we will do the strap. So I'm still just working across the bottom with my single crochets, and when I come to the corners here, I actually need to place more double crochets so that I can turn the corner nicely. I've already done it here, so I'm just going to go into the corner with 4 single crochets so that I'm able to turn to get to the other side. So 2, 3, and 4, and that allows us to nicely turn the corner here. So I'm just again going to continue single crocheting up this side, and we're going to do the strap right here at this corner. Okay, so at this point I've crocheted all around on these 3 sides, so I'm back here at what will be the top of the bag. So I'm just going to place 1 single crochet into the corner to join those 2 pieces, and now I can make a strap. So for this part you just want to chain as many chains as you want your strap to be long. So I think I'm going to start with about 100 chains, and then I'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we're just going to make a really long chain and join it on this side. So I'm going to try 100 out, and I will let you guys know what I end up with. Okay, so I just finished up my chain. I ended up with 175 chains. It ended up being about 48 inches, and I really did pull it a bit when I was measuring my chain, because obviously when the bag is weighted down with something in it, it's going to stretch a little. So I just wanted to make sure the chain wasn't overly long, but that it was long enough so that it can be a crossbody bag. So I'm just going to hold that for a second, make sure my chain is totally straight and there's no twists. Pull everything smooth it out with my fingers so that it is totally straight. It'd be real sad if it was twisted when I got to the end here. And put my hook back in, and then I'm going to join it to the first corner here, and I'm going to attach it to the first single crochet here. Just find that space and slip stitch it in. Okay. I'm going to kind of turn this on its side this way. So now that I've secured the strap into that first single crochet, I'm going to come now and just single crochet again into that chain 2 corner just to secure the strap a little bit better, and it's kind of wrapping over top of the chain that we just did, which is what I want. And now I'm going to work actually through the back bumps. So usually I would work through the braided part of a chain. It doesn't really matter what part you usually work through, but I'm going to work into the back bumps of this chain now with single crochets all the way down. So just underneath the back bump and single crochet. Under the bump with my hook and single crochet. Under the bump, single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to do this now all the way down until I get back to the start of the strap. Okay, now I've worked into that last stitch, and I'm going to join this the same way that I did on the other side. So I'm just going to single crochet again into this corner space here so that I can join everything like so, and that it's a nice smooth finish. Then I'm going to chain 1, clip my yarn, and fasten off. Once that's done, all that's left is weaving in the ends, and then we are finished our crossbody bag.